And we're live.
Perfect. Because it just popped up.
Hey, folks.
Hello.
What's up? So yeah, kind of somewhat impromptu little live stream this evening. We wanted to get together, us and Ethan, all three of us, do a little catch up because we got a lot.
That is an understatement.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, and it keeps building. So.
Well, I remember Ethan said, what was it? We're going to a bunch of shit thrown at us for a while. I mean, we knew.
Yeah.
And it's proven to be true.
Yeah.
So we're just swimming through the shit.
Yeah. So, yeah. But thanks for joining us. And we're just going to kind of do a little bit of behind the scenes. We're going to sit here. We're going to relax, drink a beer or two, kind of talk about, maybe build a little bit of playlist, talk about what we're going to talk about next time.
Yeah, I guess kind of show our creative process. I don't really know if it's creative process, but
it's like creative clusterfuck most of the time.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if Ethan's gonna be joining us through the stream. He had a lot going on this evening as well, but
he did message a little bit ago, and he didn't say whether or not he just sent a butt emoji. So thanks.
It's a peach.
It's a peach
that people use as a butt emoji.
It's a butt.
We use it a lot.
Yeah.
In the conversation that we have with the three of us.
Yeah.
It's kind of our heard ya.
Yeah, it's our like button.
It's our like button. Yeah.
It is. It's the like button in the messenger chat. We literally just changed the emoji to a peach. So, but yeah, so we're gonna have something to drink. I don't know, these might all be a little too beery for you.
Yeah, probably.
You take your pick.
I don't even know.
And I don't get your notebook wet. I don't know which one you would like the best. Maybe that pineapple or that raspberry. I don't know.
Let's try the raspberry.
All right. So, and again, thank you to our friends at Mankato Brewery, specifically Ethan's fiance Pan, who has been on the channel with us before. So,
which coincidentally, I've been talking with her a little bit and Dylan's girlfriend.
Yep.
About I'm trying to say if I'm going to crack this first or say this first.
I'm sitting like waiting for the customary.
Hold on. I'll get to that. This is actually how our creative process goes. It's a lot of starting a sentence.
Yeah.
And even more so than when we're recording. We do that too, but the beginning, oh my God, I can't open this.
So Crystal's joining us. Thank you, Crystal, my cousin.
Hi, Crystal.
Hope things are well in Colorado. Yeah, it's the extra Tyler sip.
Yeah, I know. She wants to have a drinking game for Tuesday. Yeah.
Gotta come up with something.
I know. This is like, oh, this is gonna be messy. It is kind of beery. See, I'm not a big beer fan.
Yeah.
But I'm coming around a little bit. There's a few out there I'll drink, but
sours seem to be kind of more up your alley.
Yeah, because I think they don't taste so beery.
It's got more of a tart taste.
Is that a word?
It's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
these are humongous cans. Look at. I mean, it's eventually I think we'll go to audio only.
Yeah, the Crowler. So 25 ouncer.
They're like. Yeah. You got to use both hands almost to get a good grip on it.
Yeah.
That could be a joke. Mm-hmm. Here, Tyler.
So thank you to Maureen jumping in, and she's sharing butt emojis too. So
nice.
Thanks.
Be part of the crew.
I think I saw something earlier. You were tagged in a post, or you commented on a post something about 5 minutes naked with like your third ad or something. So makes sense.
Me or Crystal?
Maureen.
Maureen. Oh, yeah. Maureen. Oh, okay. What are you talking about? I can't get these open.
And
I will come back to what I was saying before.
Yeah, we'll
Hi,
get there.
Erica.
Erica?
I've never met you, but you popped up on here, so hi.
Yeah, I've never met
I'm gonna bending
Erica
a
as well.
fingernail back, trying to like.
Here, you want me to get that?
No, I can do it myself.
So Erica and I were part of members of a Reddit group. So.
Did you say Reddit?
Yeah.
It kind of popped.
It was during the pop, yeah. So.
Okay.
So thank you for joining, and I guess she sympathizes. She's not a beer fan.
Thank you.
So
here's another Mankato Brewery one. We're opening up two. So this one's the pineapple wheat.
Yeah.
It has like a, I don't know, like a totem pole kind of looking.
Kind of a tiki looking guy.
Yeah, there you go, tiki. The other one has like a superwoman.
Yeah. So this is Sector Berry. I believe Pan said this is her favorite new beer. This is
even more beery. Crap. Might go with the third one and be like, what's that one taste like?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. We're going to open all three of them. You're going to go, oh, these are all too beery.
Probably.
And I'm going to be fucked up by the end of the night because I'm going to have to drink them all.
You have to.
Can't let them go to waste.
Anyway.
So back to the story with Pan.
Oh, yeah. So
Ethan's girlfriend, Mariah.
Yep. We had talked about trying to do an episode where a Ketsups or a Finding Paradise. What would that fall under?
Probably I would say probably.
It's almost a hybrid of a Finding Paradise and a Ketsup episode of having the partners on or significant others of those that how do I explain it? So ex-members such as like myself or Tyler or Ethan or Dylan. Or any people we've had on, I guess. There are significant others that were never Jehovah's Witnesses, having them come on and do an episode to discuss their perspective of being a part of this, or dealing with someone or being around someone that was in this religion and what it's been like for non-members.
Yeah, what a relationship with an ex-witness is kind of like. So
that would be kind of interesting. So I've been talked a little bit with Mariah and Pan about hopefully getting that done in September. We'll see. And then we talked about with Ethan today that our next real episode will probably, or a Ketsup will probably be September 11th, because we
never forget.
Yeah.
20 years.
That's a lot. Yeah. There's so much surrounding that.
Yeah. Well, we even talked about it like a bit last night. I was like,
it's not why we chose September 11th.
No.
I want to make that clear. Like, if we just,
we
looked at the calendar and went, I think this is maybe the next time all three of us are going to be able to get together.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah, because of some of the things that we'll talking about here this evening. So September 11th is going to be the next real weekend that we have available. Ethan is gone the next 2 weekends. And so that kind of leaves us with limited time, but it's been a while since we put out anything, so figured we better do something.
Yeah, it's been, almost a month?
I think tomorrow will be a month. I think it was July 26th was the last when we put out your story.
There's been so much going on
during
that time. I guess as a really quick summary thing, we basically both Tyler and I are having to go to court. And me next month, Tyler in 2 months. So my extra time has been dedicated to getting all my stuff together for court. My ex-husband scheduled a court hearing for a whole bunch of things. So we'll probably get into that during our catch-up after the hearing is done. And then, just kind of finishing up summer. I only get my kids as of right now for weekends during the summer. So we were trying to fit in some fun summer things. And then just, with work and life and.
Yeah. It all backs up. Yeah. But you've got court coming up on the 10th-ish or something like that. 10th? Yeah, September
10th.
So we've got about 2 weeks to get ready for that. And I think
I just turned in, the last of my paperwork, documents, whatever today.
And you got the one that you need to file by email yet, or is that done?
No, it's done. Because I finally got the affidavit affidavit of service.
Yep.
Or something like that from the sheriff's office today. So I finally was able to
the amended papers yesterday.
Yeah.
So
I think I turned it in person to court administrators today, the rest of the stuff. So I think I'm about as set as I'm gonna be. And I guess even if he comes back with more, I'm just ignoring it for now. I've said all I need to say.
I don't know that we could. I mean, I guess we could say more, but I don't know that we could say more. There's not enough.
Yeah, it's probably best that we don't. There's several topics that he's taking me to court over.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. But welcome to a couple others. So, yeah, Crystal, Maureen, Erica, Nick, thanks for joining us. He commented something a little bit ago. I wonder if he was talking about the beer, but heck yeah, bud. I'm with you. And
fill me in. Wait, what?
I don't know. It just says heck yeah.
Oh, okay.
So thank you for watching.
Hi to those that he listed.
And Michelle, thank you for watching. I don't know what that means. Is that some New Zealand thing? Fucking Kiwis.
What'd she say?
Kia Ora. That's something Kiwi, isn't it?
Kia Ora mateys.
I'm kidding. We love everyone.
Well, mostly. Another thing I was going to use as maybe a topic too, or to let people know. I don't think I even talked to Tyler about this yet. It's just kind of a random thought I had this evening that that if someone is going through a difficult divorce in dealing with this content, if you're an ex-member and you have children that are in this and dealing with a difficult ex-spouse, and it could be years and years after the divorce, you're still dealing with it. I'd say feel free to reach out to me or Tyler. I'm kind of a little more battle worn, I guess, in this compared to Tyler. He's kind of beginning that rabbit hole, and I've been in it for 6 years. That there's things that if you know ahead of time or during it that might help you avoid some pitfalls. I would be willing to share tips and tricks, and I want to say tricks, that's not the right word, but support you, and maybe help you avoid some of the headaches that I've had to go through in this learning process. We touched on it some,
and we've shared like a couple of links to
One Mom's Battle is a big one.
So I think we've shared a link to that group, to that page on there. And so definitely encourage you to check that out. It's funny.
You're not alone in this stuff.
Yeah, I was talking to the police yesterday because that's where we're at in our lives. That's a daily thing.
Almost between the two of us right now.
For two people that, like, at least me, never been arrested.
Yeah, I don't even have a speeding ticket at this point. I think my record I have when I pulled my record from the police department, they had me pulled over for a light that was out years ago. I remember we were on our way to get pumpkins last minute for Halloween stuff, and my kids were celebrating it. Now they don't. And that's like it for me. No, watch, I'll get a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
I've had a couple warnings, but nothing that went on my record.
You jinxed yourself.
I know.
It's your own fault.
I'm fucked. I'm getting a speeding ticket tomorrow.
You can't even blame it on anybody but yourself.
I know.
I was talking with the police. Yeah, I've got one thing on my record, and I actually talked with an employer yesterday to see if they cared about it. And they're like, oh, no. So, but yeah, we interact with the police on a fairly regular basis now, with our exes and our whole.
One picked up some documents today from the police department, actually.
Yeah, but the cop I spoke to yesterday, he's like, who am I speaking with? I said, Tyler Aarons. He's like, is you related to? I said, yeah, that's my old man. And he's like, I thought it might have been. He's like, and is your sister? I said, yep. He's like, yeah. He said, I've dealt with your family in regards to the Jehovah's before. So he's familiar. And he said, before we got off the phone, he said, he said, by the time like October is done and rolls around, he's like, you and Amanda need to start up your own like divorce, like help service. because you guys are going to be well versed in it. So, and
it's
he
kind
is
of
not
how,
wrong.
yeah, it's kind of how One Mom's Battle kind of got going. She was just going through her own stuff and started passing on what she learned.
So, but yeah, it's
we had the JW spin on it perspective, so that's one thing I guess that makes it a little bit different. Yeah, it's another layer. Or any kind of extremist, cultish kind of religion will use a lot of the same stuff. You'll be up against a lot of the same things. I know there's like packages out there for ex-witnesses going to court. I have never requested or seen it, but I remember hearing about it years back. I don't know what's in it, so I know others have done the work of some of that as well.
Maybe that's something we can take a look, see if there's something like that. And if there is, then maybe I'll try to maybe we'll try to share it on the page. But yeah, like I said, there's never a reason to think that you're alone in something and that you're the only person that's going through it. Unfortunately, that's the way a lot of us feel after we come out of a cult, that we are stuck and it's just us and, you know, what's wrong with me? There's a decent chance it's not just you. So if you've come out of a cult, take advantage of all the resources you can. So
yeah, you'll find that it's almost like they follow this unwritten playbook or something. It's really kind of crazy how predictable it can be. Yeah,
that's true. It's one of those things that it always
boggles my mind.
It's like I'm always surprised that there's more, but like I shouldn't be. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't know how often like like I have to say that phrase, but you know, one day at a time.
Yeah.
And so, but
I guess going a completely different direction. Not completely. I mean, because we kind of started out with the kind of revealing our process before we actually hit record. Looks like Ethan's gonna be busy, so
I haven't heard.
He hasn't joined,
but
he's going out of town.
Yeah, they're getting ready. They're going to Ohio. I don't know what the hell they're doing in Ohio, but
he's probably okay with people knowing that. I don't know, but
Godspeed, safe travels.
Yeah. So what I personally do is I keep a little notebook thing open in my phone, and as I think of things, I'll write it down. There's, of course, a bunch of little, what I call addendums to my story, little things I forgot. I was like, man. So like I wrote that down. We'll tackle that some other time. Or just there's certain videos that come out that really get our attention. We'll write those down. Sometimes I write things down on paper. I think Tyler writes things down on his phone.
Yeah, I keep notes in my iCloud.
And
I don't know what Ethan does.
I think he just shows up and kind of goes, you know, this is what I'm gonna add, and then
in his defense, I mean, yeah, he's got shit in his life too.
Oh, for sure.
But in his defense, I think we are kind of like in the thick of it more so than him right now. So I think he is able to wing it a little bit better because his isn't just seeming constant survival mode every day.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But no, not to minimize Ethan. No, everyone goes through shit, but it's we've all got our own kind of methods and how we get there, and
we try not to catch up too much in between our episodes so that we don't feel like we're just repeating information to each other.
Yeah, we kind of give a lot of times we'll give kind of like the very high level of, hey, this happened and we should talk about it.
Yeah.
And which spawns a lot of those, are you fucking kidding me? And then we get around to talking. But then that's the thing, we have so many of those.
Yeah.
And we are not going to be able to do anything about it for about the next 3 weeks. So
so it'll be more. Oh, a lot more.
Yeah.
Just adding to this pile right now. One thing for tonight, I also thought about tackling, maybe, I don't know, like really quick, I think way back, I had to scroll way back in my Facebook timeline about
Yeah.
There was questions like my old, "You're fighting the fight. Stay strong." Thank you, Nick.
Cheers, bud. We got to get together, have dinner. I know Ethan was talking about it this past weekend, didn't pan out, but soon we're gonna get there.
So, yeah.
You guys are not that far away from us. It's stupid. like you guys are just down the road essentially. So
yeah.
Oh well.
Life is busy.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody I think is busy to some degree. It's just right now.
Yeah. And he even commented, so Nick's wife, she's also she's a never in, right? I think. So
yeah, I think so. Or is she fiance? Are they married?
I said wife, fiance, sorry. Yeah, you are correct.
Not that like I need to be super technical. Yeah. I just was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that'll be
married? I remember they got engaged.
I think that's next September.
I don't remember.
But yeah, and then Maureen says everyone lives so far away. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, get yourself a plane ticket, get yourself something, get your ass up here, and beer's on me. Or wine or whiskey, since apparently you're not a big beer fan.
If you don't drink alcohol.
True. If you are sober.
That's okay too.
I like drinking tea as well. So actually, you've got a cup of tea over there.
No, mine's water.
Oh,
I have my cup of happy cup, but it has water in it. I had tea earlier.
Yeah.
I like my coffee. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I love my coffee.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
I should marry it. I love it so much. I should marry it.
I think that's illegal in most states.
To marry your coffee?
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Back to the Facebook post.
Facebook posts. There was one thing
mainly my old classmates.
Yeah.
What was it?
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Yep. We'll come back to it.
We'll Facebook forget. All right. No, we're gonna forget. You might as well say
All right. So I hadn't posted anything about it, and I'm part of an XJW group out of New York. Used to be out of Connecticut. So thank you to Karina, Cheryl, all the people that are in that group. You guys are amazing. And so I was going to try to share the news with you guys, but earlier this afternoon, I think you guys know that I've kind of been back and forth with a couple of different companies, interviewing and trying to get out of the data software, the analytics tech field, and was offered a position earlier this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yay!
So I thought that I would have to wait until I was actually licensed to start working, but there's a decent chance by about Christmas time I'll be a working therapist.
Yeah, we'll see where this path goes.
So, and one of the cool things
that start.
Hey, Jessica's watching. Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it.
Hello.
And Jessica's also in that group with us. But one of the very cool things that's going to happen with that, and it'll take a little bit of time to get it going, and can't wait to do it. But they said they're going to give me a few hours a week that I can network, that I can make some connections, and I can actually start facilitating groups that I want to run.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be doing primarily in-home work, working with different people within the Minneapolis, Twin Cities metro area, in-home therapy as well as adult rehabilitative mental health services. So helping them with general coping and life skills and trauma that they've dealt with. So I'm going to do that. And that'll be the first couple of months of my employment with them. And then I've got some of my practicum labs through school. And then once that's done, then they'll start rotating me into caseload.
But it's gonna get you get your foot in the door for sure of your ultimate goal.
Yeah,
and already kind of right out the gate, letting you start up or facilitate a group that's going to help ex-members of religions like we came out of.
Yeah, and actually, so there was a comment from just a moment ago, Michael Nelson, saying congrats. And Michael is actually out of the Twin Cities Metro. So that could be, yeah, we might have to actually link up, Mike. I appreciate it. I will probably start reaching out to some of my contacts within the Twin Cities once I get into kind of that networking mode. And really, anyone that is interested, that would be sweet. That'll be fun.
Yeah, reach out to Tyler.
That's what I ultimately want to do. That's why I went back to school, because I want to work with former cult members, specifically ex-witnesses, if at all possible. But whatever the cult you've come out of, or even just like a cult, like traumatic,
religious experience,
or even, I mean, even relationships can be cult-like in their, their control tactics. I've had like a quarter of this.
Oh, you're just trying to talk like me in my normal life.
There you go. But no, there's going to be so many different opportunities and things that we'll be able to dive into. Jessica says, that's awesome. I'm starting school on Monday for my degree in psychology, clinical counseling. Nice. Such a great field for people with our cult background. That was awesome.
Cheers to both of you. And Ethan, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Cheers to you too.
Clink.
Clink.
That's awesome, Jessica. Very happy for you. You ever want to link up? You need any sort of, got any questions or anything that I can do to help you out, support? We're here to help. So good luck to you as well. That's going to be very cool.
I think, like I mentioned before too, I was very, very highly considering going into that field when I had to figure out what I was going to go to school for. Ultimately landed on nursing, but I think that's something that's nice that we have in common.
Because I debated going into nursing.
Yeah.
Like when in 2016.
You're living the opposite career, or like the careers we almost went to school for.
Well, and initially when I first graduated high school in 2001, I was going into law. And then about a year and a half of that.
We were in the debate team and stuff like that. Like that. That's definitely
I wasn't in debate. I was in mock trial, which is very similar.
Well,
I mean, basically, we're given a court case, and then we go and we actually try it in court. So
that helps me.
Right.
I have my own side of how I help with the legal stuff, and then you have your side of helping with legal stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot too. Crystal was. Katie is doing that too. Jessica, so proud of her. Katie is.
It's your cousin, isn't it?
It's Crystal's daughter.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Be my second cousin. So, but yeah, she's going to school for. I think she's going to school for psychology. I think is her degree,
I don't remember.
Major, but
I remember hearing about it, but I don't remember the details.
So, good luck to Katie. That's awesome. As Crystal and I were talking a while back, there's definitely a shortage of mental health care resources. And we even joked that, especially people in our family could use that shit. So, so glad to see Katie going into something that can be beneficial.
Yeah.
But good luck. But yeah, so that is some new news. I got to follow up with them tomorrow. And yeah, I suspect I'll probably put in my letter of resignation.
Hopefully no one from your job watches. Surprise!
Yeah, I just thought about that too. Well, but you know what? I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I'll probably end up with a letter of resignation on Friday. So
that is very possible.
Depending on how things work out tomorrow. But it's probably I'd say it's a 99.9% sure bet that's where I'm going.
And it's interesting that we're both kind of, you're going to be going like a home care kind of setting thing a little bit. And I already work in home care, in pediatrics. So.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be some in home, and then a fair amount of it I'll get to do even remotely. I get to set my own schedule. So that's cool. If we want to take off and do something for a few days, we can do it. So
yeah, it's a great field for kids from crazy families too.
You are not wrong. So And then Maureen, she's going into veterinary medicine because she prefers animals to humans. Also
I don't blame
valid.
you there.
Yeah.
I do not.
I love animals.
Yeah.
So
I keep waiting. I keep waiting for one of the cats to like walk across the keyboard or something. Well, Miles is just hanging up there looking all regal.
Come here.
He always likes to lay very regal.
It's weird. So did my my daughters.
Miles looked over like, what?
I was like, talking about me? Fuck you guys. He's a cat. He doesn't care. But yeah, Ace would do that too. Her puppy. He'd just sit there and he'd just lay there and like cross his paws.
So cute.
So good luck to you, Maureen, as well, helping out animals.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's definitely a lot going on. For me personally, going through starting divorce proceedings, getting all that shit going, going to school full time, switching careers, and at the same time, it's definitely busy. And you with court lingering, your busy work schedule, 3 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've pretty much spent every waking moment just getting shit ready for court. So
yeah, it kind of came on quickly. Not that I was shocked.
No.
Not at all.
We knew
shocked.
it'd be here. So.
But to pull it all together in time and find all your exhibits and you got served like a stack of like.
It was.
What is it, like 4 inches?
Yeah.
Thick or something. I ain't messing around, dude.
It was like a ream of paper.
So. Well, when I had to get it copied off at FedEx, we went through like 3 reams of paper, I think. It was a lot. He's like, I'm gonna have to call a different FedEx to get more paper here pretty soon.
Well, and like when
it was a small FedEx store.
Well, and the amended paperwork was not much smaller.
And the response stuff, yeah.
It was.
No, I mean, it was like maybe an inch or 2 thick, not like the stack.
That's true. Yeah.
Because I handed over for the sheriff to serve. He's like, I can't serve that in that box. I'm like, okay. He's like, wow, what are you serving him with? Like a lot of stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
And he went, okay. So I don't know how they held it together, maybe with a rubber band.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But I mean, even just the amended, I printed almost 300 pages yesterday.
Wow.
That didn't all go to him. To be fair, that was 3 copies. So it was between like 80 to 100 copies or pages per that we amended and sent to him.
Well,
and the one was new, I guess.
Yeah, so we made an amendment to
we made an
amendment to one of the exhibits, the stuff on witness stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see, we're at 32 minutes.
Yeah.
Trying to decide if we go into that whole Facebook post thing.
I think it's not a bad idea.
From back in early June, I had to scroll and scroll and scroll.
Yeah.
And then my Facebook wasn't cooperating, just sitting there spinning. I got there eventually.
Yeah.
I think some of it's been covered a little bit. And other things, but well, we'll just go down the line, I suppose. They're probably okay with me saying names. I don't know. I don't know if I should.
I mean, they're posted public, so I guess I wouldn't necessarily
know if this one's actually. I don't know if it's actually public. I mean, it's on my personal page. I'm not sure if the post is public.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fine. One of my old classmates asked or said one that the question I'm afraid to like. God damn it. No, I went to go out of the comments section and then it kicked me back to the top of my Facebook page. Now I gotta. It was something about band. Because I was in band.
Yeah. Well, and because you had
from about 6th grade onward till through my junior year. I remember I backed out of it my senior year because then you start getting solos and I was not about that. And so I did not have band in my senior year. So it was one of my old bandmates that had a question. I have a feeling it was about not going to the games. or not being in pet ban,
I remember something about pet ban.
Why witnesses were not supposed to do that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to scroll and scroll back. Dang it. So I guess we'll just go off that topic from my remembering from this question. But what I had done is I'd gone on Facebook and asked about what people's perspective had been about me when I was not a witness, when I was a witness, sorry, or questions they may have had about my behavior then or my beliefs, and got more of a response than I thought I was going to. And we keep talking about we're going to tackle those questions in some episode, and then we run out of time and we don't. So I thought about tackling that now if I can get back to my original post.
Well, here, why don't you read the original, and I'm pulling up the,
Okay, well, I'm still trying to get back to, oh, wait.
The one that you shared, I guess. What date was that? Do you remember?
It was like June 9th-ish, something like that. My phone just in your thinking.
Yeah.
It's almost there, though.
Because you essentially reached out and said, hey, I want, could somebody give, if you've got any questions for me from that time when I was in school, and if there was anything that you didn't understand or that you wanted to know, then hey, let me know and reach out, because you decided to cover those.
Yeah, I thought it'd make an interesting topic of discussion.
Yeah.
I'm almost there. Back to June 15th. I'm almost there. Grapes. Bear with us. Sorry. I thought I had that part ready to go. But then Facebook decided to be a stinker.
Yeah, wasn't cooperating as well.
Yeah, almost there. June 11th. It's thinking.
Here. If you actually want to use it like on the laptop, there's the post.
I'm almost.
Well, hang on.
I'm to June 9th, but not the right. Whoa, wait.
All right.
I got it. Okay, so my question was on my Facebook. For those of you that knew me in school, or even just knew me in general while I was a Jehovah's Witness, what mystified you the most about my beliefs then? Or what was your take on it? Or what confused you the most? Basically, anything that comes to your mind regarding our childhood/past and that topic. I'm interested in your perspective and how it may help as we continue with our podcast, Finding Paradise, about ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. Be honest, I can take it. Feel free to leave a comment here or message me. So some did private message me. Majority just commented in the comments. Okay, so I'm back to the original comment by my classmate and former band mate as well. This one played flute, I think, so maybe that'll clue you in on who you are if you're listening to this. One that sticks out to me is from middle school band when we played at basketball games and you couldn't play during the national anthem. I also don't get why they don't allow people to celebrate their birthdays or basically any holidays. So let's tackle that. Okay, why we didn't play the national anthem is because we were supposed to not get involved in politics, not what's the word? We're supposed to pledge our allegiance to God, not men. So it's kind of like the Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem kind of combines those two topics a little bit.
They equated the Pledge of Allegiance with worshiping
the flag and pledging your allegiance to a flag and a country. So back to the national anthem, it's kind of the same thing though. It's like showing pride of your country, not staying neutral. You're supposed to stay neutral in all government political things. Natural pride for your country. What was the other thing? I'm missing something. Crap, I can't remember. So during the national anthem, even so, let's say you weren't playing it, you also were not you're supposed to make sure people could tell you were not participating. So that means some would not stand for it, some do. You would not put your hand on your heart. You would not participate in playing the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. But as far as playing that, that's why I wasn't allowed to. I feel like there's one point I'm missing though on why. Oh, here's Miles.
Miles, what's up, bud? Yeah, you crabby little fucker. Come here.
He's not that crabby.
Yep.
He's a lot less crabby than he used to be.
Yeah,
He's never been a mean cat though. He's never been mean.
No,
neither one of my cats are mean. They don't lash out at people.
He's a cranky old man. Miles, come here.
Meow. Yeah. Okay. And I guess I would go. I know someone asked about like pet band stuff too. So we did not play at games or be involved in pet band because it's kind of the same thing.
Same thing. School spirit. You're not supposed to have pride in your school.
Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't want to be showing support for any of that. You'd also be around bad association unnecessarily. So we had to go to school, but we were not supposed to be associating with our schoolmates beyond that. So it'd be very surface acquaintances. And then the other things that might happen if you're
around worldly people,
at these games. But a lot of it had to do with showing school pride, and you were not supposed to be involved in that. 1 second here.
You had another that said they always wanted to know why you couldn't do holiday choir concerts or any of our holiday concert stuff. I always missed. I didn't think it was fair.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you even mentioned, like it just kind of a perspective that never really thought of, like, oh, like you felt like you were missing out on things, and I felt like I was missing out on things. But to actually hear someone say, well, hey, like, we missed you being there, like that sucked. That's something that I guess I'd never really thought of from that perspective. So
yeah, that
people do notice.
Yeah, then my friends would have felt like I was being snooty or something, or like they weren't good enough to be my friend. Which it's not what I felt. It's definitely not what I felt, but like I guess to some degree that's what religion's teaching though, is that we weren't supposed to hang out with them because they were not Jehovah's Witnesses. And bad associations spoil useful habits. Yeah. What scripture is that? That's what they were beating into our head.
1 Corinthians 15:33. I hate that I know that.
I was never very good at remembering like the actual scriptures. You're good with numbers and all that stuff, so you probably remember a shit ton of them.
Yeah,
I don't. I was like, I'd try, but I really struggled with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you were considered worldly.
Genesis 19, Judges 19.
What?
Genesis and Judges, chapter 19, both.
Okay. You're gonna put me in. I don't know.
Stories of rape and genocide.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The Bible's all about that shit.
Beautiful. Ethan might know who I'm referencing. Any local witness from Mankato knows there was an elder that said beautiful all the time.
I think we've talked about him before, and I've said that we took him and his wife out.
He was kind of quirky, decent though. He was almost kind of a fringe elder in some ways. Like he went to his class reunion. I remember he got flack for that because you were not supposed to do that, but he went. But his wife, woo.
Yeah, that lady. Maureen's comment. I try not to. I'm assuming she's referring to remembering scriptures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't shut off. But yeah, no, we talked about them, and we took them out for lunch one day after he gave a talk in my old congregation because that's what you do. You're friendly and you do that shit. And I have never I've never seen anyone be that rude and shitty to the wait staff that I got up and I walked away from the table and I actually went up to the counter before we had left, and I pre-tipped them. I took handfuls of cash. I'm like, I am so sorry. We understand you're busy. Just and when we left, I told my ex, I'm like, I will never go eat with them again. I'm never going to be eating in public with them because that was just ridiculous.
She was a long-time pioneer. Still is, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, she's still pioneering.
She's made a career out of it.
Yeah, she's been pioneering for
but she
40 years,
is one of those pioneers, and then taught the younger version of herself that you do kind of milk your time, and you do run all your errands. You like, so kind of taught the pioneers to be that way in that particular congregation. It was the sister hall to the one sister congregation to the one I grew up in. But so my actual congregation did things a little differently. Yeah. They weren't quite so. They did things a little more by the book as far as service and ministry. So it was not just running errands the whole time, and like you did the work of counting your time.
Well, that's what's hilarious too. Like one of the 3 elders that was on my judicial committee, everyone always knew if you go out and service with him, you're going to spend half of the morning sitting at Perkins drinking coffee.
I wouldn't count that kind of time, so I'd be pissed off when I ended up with people like that, especially when I was pioneering. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm not counting all this because we weren't actually doing anything.
And my thinking on that, I always figured, you know what? Here's the thing. I dedicated from 9 a.m. when our.
I wish I would have thought like that.
Yeah, I was just like, I dedicated from 9 a.m. to noon when I got back. I dedicated 3 fucking hours of my life today to teaching people, whether I was directly teaching somebody. So I'm counting 3 fucking hours.
Yeah, I was, I said, I was more by the book.
You were more conscientious about your time.
I'm still more conscientious about things. Like, that doesn't leave. I just, I'm not applying it to service and ministry anymore.
Right.
Okay. And then that same person, she said, this one comes from my times as the CNA because we had a few residents that were JW. Where does must be belief, I think there's a typo there, that only the chosen ones will go to heaven, while everyone else will just cease to exist? The way it was explained to us is that apparently only some people have eternal souls and the rest of us are just SOL. I don't know. Do you want to tackle that one? You like more the theology and like. So that I've always been more emotions based. You've always been more analytical.
So that was that was under the Oh
my God! It disappeared again.
So they're supposedly
I give up on my phone. I'm done.
Well,
I'm done. We'll just go off your computer.
Yeah. So and again, the witness theology. General Christianity accepts that if you are a good person, you go to heaven. If you're not, you go to hell. Like that's what Christianity is. Good people go to heaven, bad people go to hell. The witnesses take it a step further, and
they do not believe in hell.
There's no hell. We don't believe in hell. We believe in Sheol, the common grave. So any instances where it mentions hell in the Bible, well, it's referring to Sheol. Is what they say. It's just the common grave of mankind. It's not.
I never understood that part very well.
I don't believe in that anyway. I don't believe there's a literal hell. But according to Christian theology, like that's their thing. Witnesses go, no, that's not real. They also believe that only 144,000 will get to heaven, and that's based off of the scriptures in Revelation, where it goes through and it talks about them, the heavenly. God, I can't think exactly how it's worded, but. And it refers to 12,000 from the tribe of this, and 12,000 from the tribe of Levi.
Yeah, I never understood that part either.
12,000 from the tribe of Benjamin. So going through all of that, there's 12 tribes, 12,000 from each. That's 144,000. So they take that, and especially within Revelation, they take that shit and apply it literally. Revelation is a fucking acid trip from beginning to end, but these verses, they're going to go, these are real. That's actual numbers. And there's only 144,000 because of it that are going to make it into heaven.
And like I mentioned in my story too, that's something that I remember someone bringing up in the ministry when I was like probably 12 or something. It must have been an apostate.
Right.
It was like, or they said to me.
You probably walked away scared.
I think, probably. I was really confused and like, because it was just me and my younger sisters. Like we were going to, doors by ourselves. I mean, there's adults like in the area, but we went to doors by ourselves. Looking back at that, like that's just stupid. But remember she had said to me, so why do you think 144,000 is a literal number? That stuck with me.
Yeah.
I remember I couldn't explain.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't. Not really.
Yeah.
We got both cats around us now. They're coming. They're like, oh, what's going on? Took them a little while.
Got Miles down here. Moose now she's walking around behind the camera and computer.
Mm-hmm.
So, sniffing shit out.
Moose has been around for a long time in our lives.
But, so it's a twisted understanding of something that's already just silly. Yeah. Which coincidentally, I actually saw an article. God, where did I see that the other day? Where it actually theorizes that the book of Revelation, as well as a lot of the prophecies, they could have actually been the results of drugs, hallucination. They could actually be byproducts of psychedelic drugs that people were using, because we do actually have records of psychedelics all the way back to that time. So, yeah, Revelation might have actually just been a DMT trip.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
no way of knowing for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that kind of covers 144,000.
144,000.
They're the ones that like eat the bread, drink the wine at memorial.
So yeah, so that's the
I don't
thing
know
too,
where, like that's almost like going down a rabbit hole.
Well,
with
yeah,
that,
I mean, and just briefly, the thing with that, because a lot of people take issue with it within Christianity, because you're supposed to take communion every week, blood of Christ, body of Christ, the whole Eucharist, transubstantiation shit, eat the cracker, drink the wine, and it turns into the blood and body of Christ. That's a Christian thing. That's what you do as a Christian. JWs, you don't do that. Only the 144,000 do it.
And once a year.
Once a year.
The memorial of Jesus' death.
Yeah. Even though the scripture says...
That's the only thing they really celebrate.
Yeah, it's the only celebration. And they say, keep doing this in remembrance of me as often as you... as often as you meet together. But then they go, we just apply that once a year. Where other Christian churches, they do communion weekly. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. So a lot of Christians, theologians, they'll take offense. They'll take exception to that practice of the 144,000 get to drink the wine and eat the little unleavened bread cracker. And the rest of us, we sit there and
pass it around, and you have kids, and you're like,
passes it to you, and then you pass it to the next person.
Like spill the wine. That's always like every parent's.
I always remember like, okay, take the wine.
Like just this like touch, very touch, and then move it along.
Yeah. So
none of my kids spill any wine. That's amazing. Yeah. So 3 young boys. Mm.
Oh, so there is this one about
holiday choirs too. Yeah. Like you can participate in a holiday choir.
We're gonna skip this one from your aunt because it touches on too much confidential stuff, too many names in there that we but
kind of reference my great grandma and stuff, which is her grandmother, my cousin's grandmother.
So I don't know if you want to look at them.
So I guess we didn't really touch on holiday stuff, like because that would have correlated to why we were not. We might as well just read that one out loud.
Yes. So Mike.
Anyone. Audio isn't gonna.
Yeah. So Mike, he commented, "So I've never done acid, but I have studied Revelations. So same." Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And then we have Gary-eyed Beast apparently watching from YouTube. So I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know who you are. I'm not sure. Unless it might be Gary. Oh, Gory-eyed Beast, not Gary. Thought it might be Gary.
Interesting name.
Yeah. So Gory-eyed Beast, thanks for watching. They say, I was looking that up today about Revelations, the microchip mark of the beast thing. He says, I'm confused as to why the preacher would encourage their congregation to resist.
I don't know.
Yeah.
To go back to the holiday choir thing, so it all kind of relates and why. So Tyler and I just had this discussion yesterday. I think in pictures, and that's I have a clear picture in my mind of something I'm thinking I want to say, whatever, and then I'm left trying to describe the picture, and that's why my words don't come out very well, because I'm always left how do I describe this picture in my brain of what I'm thinking? And I'm like, so how do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, you literally just stopped and you're like, do you think in pictures? When you're thinking, do you have
how do people think? Am I the only one like that? I mean, I know I'm not the only one.
And I said, no, when I think, I think in dialogue or monologue. I guess
you can be more exacting with your words.
It's
the way we talk is very different and it's very obvious. And so it makes me sound unintelligent a lot of times. I'm like, I can't find my words because I'm left trying to find words to describe the picture in my brain. So there you go, a little snapshot of me.
Well, we all know it's not lack of intelligence. It's
I just can't get it out most of the time what I'm thinking.
Lack of wordiness.
Wordiness. I'm wordy, but not in a decisive way. We'll put it that way. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
But we all, Ethan, Tyler, and we have no problem going off the track.
No.
Our thoughts go all over the damn place.
Yeah.
So back to choir and holiday stuff in like elementary school or whatever.
Crystal says she recommends listening to the Book of Enoch on shrooms.
Okay. Thank you for that tip. Noted.
And Maureen says she doesn't understand how people knew. There is actually a video that one of the governing body put out just recently that you just know, and you're not supposed to question it, and it was just stupid.
My very first boyfriend, his mom was supposed to be of the anointed. Mm-hmm. I remember though when I went in their house, I just always felt this weird vibe. I could never explain it. And I remember then like Ethan's dad even asked me like, oh, whenever you went in their house, did you really feel strange? Do you think like maybe it was demons or something? Like, I don't know, because people did not believe that this mom, the mom of my first boyfriend, they thought she was faking it.
Yeah.
They always just say, you just feel different. They'd say, well, we have this urge, this feeling like we want to be in heaven, not on earth, like everybody else. Everyone else wants an earthly paradise and to live there. The anointed kind of crave or just know that they belong in heaven. So you couldn't really ever question it. There's a contemporary of ours, or someone like our age group, actually younger, that started saying that they were part of the anointed. Don't say names.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so hard.
Yeah.
Trying to remember, don't say names because
your ex-boyfriend's brother's ex-wife.
Yeah. So, wow, that one.
And I think people kind of thought she was a little bit nuts too.
Yeah.
Which here's the thing: at the end of the day, now, well, yeah.
Yeah, we all had to be a part of it.
Well, but to now think like now understanding that, oh, that's all bullshit. Yeah, no, she's a little bit nuts with that. Like if that's what you, and granted, and it's cult indoctrination, then yeah. So it's tough.
I don't know. And then the number was they always say the end was coming when the number was pretty much done, like almost at zero of 144,000. But now it's climbing.
Hovered, and then it started climbing.
It started climbing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Now isn't it like even? I don't.
Well, that's
the
thing.
Is it more than that number now?
It's always. I feel like it always hovered like around 8. I want to say 18,000. And I feel like it climbs to like 21,000.
Like, how does that work?
What's going on? What the generation was supposed to have passed that only saw 19. Then
you have the what's it called? Like not the gap. The new overlapping generation.
Yeah. So I don't know if people from Facebook are able to follow. It keeps popping up something that it's losing access to Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, throw a message or a comment if it's working, if you don't mind. This is like the second time in the last 2 minutes that it pops up, says, oh, we've lost connection to your Facebook account. And
hey, Ethan! Hey, man! He popped. Hey,
fella.
How's it going?
Hey, you're on mute.
We can't hear you.
Well, gotcha.
Or is it us? No, now it's you.
Yeah, other people can hear you. Shit, how are we going to do this? Because if we do this.
Mine? Yeah, no, it's not muted.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can see.
Oh, you can?
Hey, what's up?
No.
Hey, you got your hair down.
Yeah, I just took a shower, so.
Yeah, I did too. My hair is drying. Like, you can see the drying process in real time with my hair.
Yeah. I use conditioner so she's nice and fluffy.
Ooh. I wish I could feel it.
You know, I feel like a good way or a good method of drying your hair pretty quick is like put on some heavy stuff and just headbang it out. Oh. I had some Beartooth playing.
What are you drinking?
Gin and tonic. I'm done with beer. I'm done with beer unless it's a special occasion for a little while.
All right. Take it easy. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I was trying on pants today in Mills Fleet Farm, and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and it just looked like Play-Doh. So I have to go on some kind of diet. So gin and whiskey it is. Huh?
I said, oh, good grief.
Oh, grief.
Because you are just fine. Please, I'm sitting here with my mommy body.
Yeah, well, you have kids, so you have an excuse.
I guess.
What are you guys talking about?
You're fine. You work outside. Like, you have a physical job. You're fine. Anyway, so that took us off the track.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
My bad. I had a couple minutes, so I thought I'd pop on.
Back to the whole, like, you should just, like, work out, like, your corpse grinder impressions. Just go for it. Yeah, that's it.
Ethan's whipping his hair around. Whip hair back and forth.
It's funny. Like, I guess Corpse Grinder, like, stops every show, and he, like, buys out all the toys at Toys R Us and would, like, hand them out to kids. Like, that was his thing.
Oh.
Well, clearance. He loves clearance. He always goes clearance shopping.
Clearance shopping? Yeah.
Well, hey, I like a good clearance deal as well.
For a guy named Corpse Grinder, he's a pretty quality dude.
Yeah.
He's a big softie.
Yeah.
A lot of the tough looking guys are actually big softies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the lead singer of the band Cannibal Corpse.
Okay. I don't know it.
Yeah.
But
anyway, they get all their aggression out on stage.
Say again?
What's that?
What'd you say?
Oh, I said they get all their aggression out on stage.
Right. Yeah, and then he's a lover, not a fighter after that's done.
Right. So what were you guys talking about?
No, we've been talking about a lot of fun stuff.
The thing is popping up again.
Yeah, but people from Facebook are commenting that they're still here. So, including your sister.
Oh.
Your sister popped up, said
hi,
it's working.
Rebecca.
Hey.
My baby sister.
Yeah, baby sister.
That towers over me.
Yeah. And Maureen said that she's been here the whole time. So apparently it's, I don't know, StreamYard's just being stupid.
Okay.
I did see a comment about acid.
Yeah, so we talked about acid a little bit because I actually read an article the other day that.
That's when you went, wait, I got to get on here.
Yeah, hold on. What are we talking about? No, I read an article the other day that theorized that Revelation and possibly the prophecy of Ezekiel, like the heavenly chariot and being able to see like God and like on it, that it was actually psychedelics.
Oh, DMT. Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually theorized that it might have been a DMT trip.
Yeah, dimethyltryptamine. That's what. So like I've heard that before because like the burning bush and all that. A lot of plants contain DMT. But what's that show that originated on Vice? It's the guy with the pharmacopoeia. Something's pharmacopoeia.
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah.
Herman's Pharmacopoeia or whatever. He was on Joe Rogan and he was talking about how like in order for them to actually abstract the DMT from the plants that were available would have been like extremely hard for them to do. That doesn't mean they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He didn't really think that was a thing, but it makes so much sense.
Well, or I wonder if, with the burning bush, I feel like it would have, might have actually like, activated the DMT. I don't know. Because, it's activated by, it can be activated by lighting, I guess. So. But yeah,
I'll believe you.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, DMT is the strongest psychotropic hallucinogen on the planet. It's produced actually in our brains in the pineal gland, and it's found in almost every living organism, including grass, trees. So
we only naturally produce it when we die and when we're born, right?
Under extreme stress is like it could be, but yeah, essentially a lot of people, because of what the trip entails, it is. We're just going off the rails now. We're talking about psychedelics.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Yeah, I have never experienced DMT, but the trip is essentially you you shoot towards a white light, and then you essentially feel free and floating and are surrounded by geometric creatures, basically. Yeah. Basically beings that are made of light and happiness around you.
And they say things to you in like a language that you don't understand, but you'd know what they're saying, I guess, is what I've heard a lot of people say.
Yeah,
like, we're so happy
English.
you found this method of communication is a common one.
Yeah, it's not English, but you understand it. And the trip, like, you go in and you're there. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, in and out, you're done. And you're back to, well, however, within the trip, it can feel like a lifetime. It can feel as though you've been there for, it can seem like you're playing Roy in Rick and Morty.
Oh, this guy's taking Roy off the map. Yeah.
He doesn't even have a social security number. So that is DMT, and yeah, it's produced in the pineal gland. So a lot of people think, especially with kind of what it's described, is that what a near-death experience is? Is it, oh my God, I'm dying, and the body releases this rush of DMT, and that's what is the white light and seeing the other side? Because there's examples of people or stories of people that have had the white light and saw the other side and like, oh, and then they pull back. So were they just about to die on an operating table and the pineal gland shot a shitload of DMT into their brain? They thought they went to heaven, but then the doctor pulled them back. Like,
white light.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's actually called the God molecule. So it's, I don't know. Anyway, there's your psychedelics education for the day.
Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia.
Hamilton.
That's it. Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. Great show. Watch it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very
Shout out to the Vice Network for Vice Versa Crusaders a few weeks ago. So.
Oh yeah, because I think our last Ketchup, it was coming up. Then we tried to do a watch party, like a panel, and like discuss it as it was happening, but we got shut down.
Yep.
Wow.
13 minutes in.
But it was really interesting to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I thought maybe quickly because before Ethan joined us, I was going through that Facebook post that I had made back in June, and that some of my old classmates and a few others had commented on, covering some of their questions. Since we keep saying we're going to get around to it, and then we don't, we run out of time, just too much crap going on in our lives to cover. So I think we were going to touch real quick on like holiday stuff. So like basically what it comes down to is a lot of the holiday stuff had pagan origins. And so we were supposed to have nothing to do with pagan stuff. Therefore, we could not celebrate any of the holidays. Birthdays is because we were not supposed to think highly of ourselves. It's mentioned in the Bible in only a negative light, like one of God's people were killed during a birthday, is what that amounts to. And that, like, there's something more. One more point. What was it? Oh, there's supposed to be pagan origins in that too.
Yeah. Something's going on with my sound right now. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, and one of the things that I've always, by that same logic, so you're not supposed to celebrate birthdays because there's never any positive mentions of birthdays. It's only mentioned twice in the Bible.
Something's going wrong with my sound.
Times.
You're not supposed to bring attention to yourself.
Right. But if you look at it from that perspective and go, okay, well, there's only 2 mentions of birthdays in the Bible, and because of that, they were both negative, you shouldn't do it. Okay. You should not own a dog. Oh. Because if you
it's coming back. Sorry.
Hey, Pan back there. Hey, Pan.
I couldn't hear nothing. Yeah, I was Pan. I'm sorry. I could barely hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, so by that same logic then,
we're talking about birthdays.
No witness should own a dog. Because if you look through the Bible, there is never a positive reference to a dog. Any references to dogs are all negative.
Yeah, Jesus never had a dog.
Yeah, Jesus didn't have a dog. Shit.
Actually, it never says Jesus took a shit either.
Yeah.
So
Oh no,
that's it. I'm not.
Oh no, we are not going down that path.
Hi, Pam.
She waved.
So yeah, I'm not taking shits anymore.
Well, you can't. I mean, Jesus
okay.
didn't do it, so you can't.
Oh, man. Shits are fake?
Oh,
no, they're pagan.
See, this is when I'm like,
Sorry.
yeah, I'm the only girl in this.
Yeah, I shouldn't have come on.
Surrounded by boys.
We're big children. Yeah, Crystal says her dogs are,
And dogs are offended.
Yeah, they're just mad now.
They should be.
My apologies, Crystal.
The other subject was blood transfusions. Why we not accept them? Holy cow, we've been dealing a lot with that with court stuff. Anyway. So to sum that up really quick, how?
Well, that's
so it's no, you talk about it. I don't feel like it.
Okay.
You talk about it.
Okay. So blood transfusions it's a byproduct of a misapplication of a scripture that shouldn't matter anyway, but was talking about dietary restrictions in the first century. So they were asking about what things would offend non-Christians. And so one of the things is, well, don't eat things that are not properly bled, don't eat things that are strangled. And basically they talk about different dietary restrictions and health and not so much, I guess they talked about health, but only in, not in emergency medicine senses at all. And so all of the prohibition on blood, to abstain from blood, is in reference to dietary. But fast forward 2,000 years and, sacrifice your children. Because the Bible says abstain from blood. And if if a doctor tells you to abstain from alcohol, well, you're not going to pump it into your veins, are you? Nope. I mean, that's the stupidest fucking argument I've ever heard, because that's going to kill you, whereas the one might save your life.
Right. You need blood to survive. Like, if you don't have blood, you don't live.
Right.
If you don't have alcohol, you're probably in a better position than myself, Like
right. And like, I always laughed at it too, because blood, the reason we don't accept blood is because blood, it's a symbol of life, and life is sacred, and so you don't take blood. I forgot
about that point. Yeah.
And I posted a video actually on the Finding Paradise page yesterday,
which I haven't looked at yet. I haven't looked at that one, but I kind of know the general idea of it.
From Goat Like Personality, and he talked.
Wait a second. So blood is a symbol of life, and we won't take life, so then we don't take blood. But why? When the life needs blood, why is the blood more important than the life that it's supposed to save?
Bingo. That was my entire contention with the whole thing, because I look at it and go, wait a second. So blood represents life. Life is sacred. Don't take blood and you die. Why is blood, the thing that represents life,
and not life,
more important than life itself? Yeah. And wouldn't that be a form of idolatry? If you're literally putting blood as this is the most important thing, and it's more important than life itself. So
that's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that before.
But Crystal says, my father and my brother both almost died over this one. It's insane. That is, I guess I didn't know about your dad, but I definitely knew about, I'm assuming we're talking James. He wouldn't care if we mentioned his name, but I'm assuming with his accident in, God, how long, when was that? 91? 90? That's been a long ass time ago. But anyway.
So then Jehovah's Witnesses are expected to carry around, once you're baptized. I remember if you were an unbaptized publisher or just a child, I think you carried around this card saying no blood, an identity card. I remember that now. I'd forgotten about it. And once you're a baptized member, you're supposed to carry around your DPA blood card, durable power of attorney. We'll get into that. That's kind of funny after we get done with court.
88, Crystal says, not 90, 91.
The
God,
GP.
Kind of in the right.
We're old as shit.
That was the bigger blood card, right? Because I don't think actually after I got baptized, I don't remember if I actually filled one of those out. I think I just carried around the one I filled out when I was like.
Oh, well,
kids
lucky you.
14.
I remember when the more specific one came out, and then you had to start there was a Kingdom Ministry that was put out to help you decide between your conscience matters and what you will accept and not accept, and then you put that in that card. But basically, you're saying like it's to make sure you do not take blood, and that you have someone lined up then on that card that will act as your power of attorney if you become unconscious. So it's usually I don't know, and then you have to have people witness you signing it. So if you're married, it's usually your spouse that's your DPA, and then usually another elder, because I think you have to have 2 on there.
2 witnesses. Yep.
Yeah.
And what's funny with that too is, so our children, my oldest and your oldest.
Mm-hmm. And I asked him if he has his blood card now, his DPA. He doesn't yet, but he will soon.
Yeah.
Be carrying that. He just turned 14 yesterday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah, he doesn't want me to say that anymore.
Oh, well.
So I just said, do you
birthday.
feel any different? Because that's what my dad used to say. It's a witness. Raise the witness.
Getting
That's
baptized?
What's that?
Like after you get baptized, do you feel any different? Is that what you're talking about?
No, birthday.
No, birthday.
Oh, birthday.
It was my oldest son's birthday yesterday.
Well, yeah. Oh,
So
you just
I
asked him if he
said,
felt different because he's
"Let's sing
14.
Happy birthday, because he doesn't want me to say happy birthday anymore. I just say, do you feel any different today? Because that's what my dad used to say to us instead of happy birthday, because you're not allowed to say that. But he clearly wanted to say something. My mom never said anything, I don't think. My dad did.
Yeah.
I had a dude at work that every birthday he would just say, "Hey, happy day of yearly achievements." Well, thanks, dude.
That works. That works. So anyway, back to the DPA card. I should post an example of
the DPA card.
Yeah, we can do that later. But they keep cranking down on that more and more and more to make sure you do not deviate. Even though, isn't it now actually you cannot get disfellowshipped for it, but everyone believes you can? There was something about that.
So they've changed it.
Back.
Well, oh no, you're definitely no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses if you take a blood transfusion. But what they did was they changed it so that you can't get disfellowshipped.
Yeah, disfellowshipped.
So it's not a punishment, but if you make the choice, you've chosen to disassociate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your own choice. It's not the congregation kicking you out because you decided to live instead of martyring yourself. Yeah.
They use that tactic with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then their members like to use that when you divorce them.
Yeah. But
a lot of different things. But
the point that I was going to bring out is, so yeah, our children, my daughter's 16, your son's 14. Mm-hmm. They're both going to carry this thing around. Now, the one sense of comfort that I have from that is that they're minors.
They're minor children still.
And that's a contract. They are not able to sign that contract, so it's likely not enforceable. And a guardian would probably be able to step in and go, "That's bullshit. Fuck you. Save my children's life."
If you don't have someone impersonating you.
Correct.
Which I will get into that.
Yeah, correct. But
after court,
one of the things that I found interesting is, so yeah, you carry this thing and it's front and back, and then you fold it half, but until it's like this big.
Ah,
yes,
I hate dealing with that in my wallet.
But the 2 people that sign it, it has to be documented that they are over the age of 18. So the witnesses that sign it have to be over the age of 18, but the person that's actually making the pledge to kill themselves doesn't. That just it blew my mind.
And then there's the hospital liaison committee, which we touched on in our court documents. But so I was like, oh, we talked about that already. No, it was
they're
court
there to
stuff.
make sure you die.
They're there to educate the medical staff and to help make sure that you do not take blood. Even though I feel like that is just a violation of HIPAA stuff. They're like, these shouldn't. But they allow it because
that's the thing. Not anymore, because now 0.6 of that, like number 6 in that thing, it flat out says, I give the elders and members of the hospital liaison committee access to my medical records.
So even if you change your mind, these elders, whoever you appoint, are supposed to make sure you follow through on not taking blood. I know the medical staff sometimes figure out ways to sneak it in if the patient can somehow give a signal or something without being exposed, or these elders, whoever, they want to make sure they can't hear that this patient is actually requesting the blood transfusion. So I think there are some kind of ways to help a patient if they do change their mind and they do want blood. But even that sometimes is very difficult to pull off because they're just watched the entire time. So I said weather alert. I'm like, what is that?
And I have actually heard that like a growing number of medical professionals and hospitals are no longer, they will not recognize hospital liaison committees. They will not.
God.
Right. I'm like, fuck that. Don't let them in. Because like you said, it's their job to educate.
Yeah.
You've got people that don't have any medical training walking into boardrooms to educate doctors and surgeons that have devoted their lives to doing this. And I got to imagine those people are sitting there going, you know, like you said, just fuck off. And they just get tired of it. Mm-hmm. So yes, hopefully fewer and fewer will continue to allow, you know, hospital liaison committees to come in.
Yeah. I think
I was actually trying to pull up a screenshot of it. Oh, you know, I could just do it right here. This is stupid. Because I do actually have that.
And then there is like a wake, I think, out there that kind of puts on display these children that have died refusing blood transfusions and kind of makes them a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few years later, they have a watchtower saying that they do not, what's that quote?
Well, the claims that thousands of witness children have died because of blood, refusing blood, that's completely unfounded, and that's silly.
But just a few years before that, they have an entire like magazine dedicated to those.
Well, they had a whole convention part on what's his name from the early '90s, right? I forget who it was, but they made him into a martyr. Yeah, basically.
Yep.
I don't remember that one.
Well, and there was even a.
It was from about 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Well, I know on the on Lloyd Evans on Cedars, there was a.
Well, yeah, I just remember Cedars being like, "This is a case where I hope the parents never wake up. I hope they never leave this religion because I hope they never have to come to the realization that they killed their son." You know, he was like 9 or 10 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember discussing that in some other episode. That's something even my ex-husband and I used to go back and forth about. Because I think secretly I know I struggle with it. I think he did too. About we didn't want to go by that doctrine if our children needed blood. But then it's like one side of it, okay, then you're disfellowshipped and you're told you will not live, you won't get to paradise, you won't be resurrected if you allow your child or yourself to have a blood transfusion. Then the other side of it is you go ahead with it or you do not go ahead with this blood transfusion, and then you're ostracized by society for killing your child. So it's kind of like no matter what you did, it was going to be wrong.
Yeah.
And I think even we had kind of figured out that I would take the fall for it. I would allow a blood transfusion for my child.
Let them die, or not let them die, and then you'll.
And then I'll take the fall. I'll be disfellowshipped. I will not get into paradise. I mean, I'm not anyway. I ended up leaving all of that.
I wonder if that's why my parents never pushed me to fill out my card.
Yeah, because maybe they didn't want you to go through with it either. They wanted you to get that blood transfusion.
So
I guess I hadn't thought about that.
So I posted a screenshot of it, and this is
of the 2 articles. the wake and the watchtower.
Like this is actually from what we filed.
Yeah, it's from our exhibit.
But So yeah, the 1990, the May 22nd, 1994 Awake, youths who put God first. And it's actually eerie. I don't know if the people that are watching can really see it very clearly, but the every child on the cover of that Awake magazine died because of the blood doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every one of those kids is dead because of this. And it says, in former times, thousands of youths died for putting God first. They are still doing it. Only today, the drama is played out in hospitals and courtrooms with blood transfusions the issue. So, in former times, thousands of youths died for putting God first. They are still doing it. But then they published almost 4 years later, 4.5 years later, in the December 1st, 1998 Watchtower, they said the accusation that numerous children of Jehovah's Witnesses die each year as a result of refusing blood transfusions is totally unfounded. Like, they flat out, they put an entire magazine out celebrating these children that died. And they said thousands of children are dying because of it. But then 4.5 years later, when it's under a spotlight, then they go, whoa, no, like, that's completely unfounded.
Well, okay, so you lied. Either way, you lied.
That's just like, was it 75?
Yeah.
And they said the end of the world is coming, and they're like, we didn't say that.
Right.
You either lied about the numbers of kids that were dying, or you lied about the fact that it was completely unfounded, right?
Yeah.
But either way.
So.
Yeah.
But
you're fucking monsters.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that kind of wraps up in general that post.
Yeah, we did include this as well.
Oh, yeah. So that's what the blood card looks like.
That's a copy of the latest.
The front and back.
A little bit small. Blow that back up a little bit. So, yeah. It says, this directive is an exercise of my right to decide medical treatment in accord with my deeply held values and convictions. I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I make this directive out of obedience to commands in the Bible, such as keep abstaining, ... from blood. So it's always funny that ... is like, oh, well, that's the shit that they left out. And it says that this is even if it's deemed necessary to preserve my life or health. So, interesting. And then this is the screenshot where it refers to, says, I consent, if you look at the first one there, and it's a little bit fuzzy, so I'll just read it. But it says, I consent to any, oh, maybe I shouldn't have read it there. I consent to my relevant medical records and the details of my condition being shared with the emergency contact below and or with members of the Hospital Liaison Committee for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Which tells us I'm 18 years old.
And then, yeah, the next one, the statement of witness. The person who signed this document did so in my presence. He or she appears to be of sound mind and free from duress, fraud, or undue influence. Bullshit. I am 18 years. Yeah.
So, in my own case.
Yeah, so I mean, it's literally, well, and you even talked about it in some of like the court stuff from like your ex, where he always talks.
I brought it the last time we were in.
Well, but no, how he talks so much about, everything is perfect and everything is great, and how that's just a red flag, and that there's got to be something. What are you talking about? And so this here, oh no, this person is free of duress. They're not under any sort of undue influence at all.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. No, you're in a call. They're in a call.
Yeah. So yeah, part of court proceedings and stuff. Those are some of the things that we've been doing the last couple weeks, putting all of that shit together.
So I've been kind of off the scene dealing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been kind of quiet, huh? I mean, we've been talking in the group chat a little bit, but
right,
it's been chaos, man.
Uh-huh.
For every one of us, it's been fucking chaos.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, well, and you know what we even mentioned earlier, I was like, Amanda and I were dealing with court stuff and our exes, and it's like, and I was like, so like we might have a little bit more of it going on than Ethan, but you've been dealing with the shit too. Like you're dealing with, and confidentiality reasons stuff. I guess I don't want to put people's air people's dirty laundry, but you're dealing with family issues right now as well.
Some pretty gnarly ones, yeah.
Yeah. So to where like I hope that turns out well.
Yeah, I do too, but we'll see.
I guess I can cheers to that.
Yeah.
Let's all hope we get through this, huh? We will. We're fighters.
Right.
But your situation, yeah.
Yeah, I really
hope it
feel.
Evens out.
Yeah, I empathize with that a lot. So.
I know it's a rough one. I mean, I think everybody kind of has to deal with something like that at some point, but
yeah, that's true.
We'll just see. We'll see.
We can dive more into that stuff next time. Yeah, this was supposed to be a mini episode.
Yeah,
you were like that. I guess this was not mini.
I'll be surprised if we go 15.
See why I said I wasn't gonna have enough time.
I know. Well, because originally we were not gonna dive into these subjects. And here we are.
And Dylan, shut up, Dylan.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Calling us out like that.
This guy.
Never making you a gin and tonic again, Dylan.
Yeah, did. I was Dylan, I was actually going to, when we were like figuring out beers and stuff, I still have that bourbon barrel aged Imperial from Drecker, and I was actually thinking about popping that, but she definitely wouldn't have liked that. And it's funny, I ran into a guy where the hell were we? It was at
no idea.
It was at Jim's Apple Farm.
Oh.
So I ran into a guy. He was wearing a Drecker T-shirt. So I talked to him a little bit about that. Ran into him in the bathroom. But Maureen says dying like that doesn't make you a martyr. It makes you a tragedy. Absolutely.
Yes.
And a statistic.
Right. It's disgusting. And so there was the
blood stuff we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was a Lloyd Evans, John Cedars video a while back, probably a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, year and a half or so. The martyrdom of Jared Scepter.
That's the kid that I was talking about. Yes, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, so they actually, it was on a JW Broadcasting. It wasn't the convention. They had it was during one of the broadcast episodes where they had a big part about this kid and how beautiful it was that he sacrificed his life and decided that he did, he was like, nope, I'm going to do, I can't remember if he was 11 or 14. He was, but I was just like, gross.
I don't remember that clip that somebody snuck from, they were at a convention because it was like, they had the camera or the TVs up in the top. And I think it was Toni Morris was saying like, how great and stuff like that. Just horrible things about this kid.
Yeah, it was bonkers. And I don't know. Yeah, but we could go down that rabbit hole. But no, you're right. It's not martyrdom. It's a tragedy. And again, we look at it from the perspective of kids. No one should ever be put in that position. And damn sure not a child under the age of 18.
I was very worried about this stuff when my kids were newborns. My oldest was born a month early, had really bad jaundice. So that was a possibility, a blood transfusion. And then my second one was born not quite as early, but still had issues. Both of them ended up in the NICU for a little bit. So like that was a very real possibility, and it was scary that we were going to have to face that.
Yeah.
I couldn't bear the thought of being like, no, my newborn preemie baby, just let him go.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Crystal said, I actually signed that shit after my dad and brother. Now, would you have, I feel like you would have, weren't you disassociated by then? You were 15? How old were you? No, it was right around that time. So, yeah. Fucking cults.
That just goes to show how strong the indoctrination is.
Yeah.
You literally watch people almost die and still are like, well.
Well, and you and I, the three of us, we know people that have lost family because of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier, and one of the things we talked about, I think I posted it in the group chat to, us, me, you, Amanda, earlier, that I actually received a job offer earlier this afternoon. So we're going to see how that pans out. But yeah, I received a job to start therapy work here in the next couple of months. But one of the things that they're going to do is they're going to give me the leeway to do some networking and whatnot to actually start facilitating some of my own groups. So I'm actually going to be able to work with groups and people of, cult and religious trauma and victims of that. And yeah, I've got another friend in the Twin Cities that she was the DPA on her sister's blood card. She was the one that told the doctors, nope, let her die. And so now she deals with that every day. And she said it was the second it happened, it was just click, oh shit, I just killed my sister. And it's like, how do you deal with that? Like, that is so nuts. But she said it was almost immediate that she went, oh my God, like, because you can't take that back.
No.
So, yeah, it was very, very taxing on her. And she's now out, and she is no longer in the cult because that woke her up in a hurry.
God.
So
that's hard.
Yeah, so it's a disgusting teaching that it has so many lives have been lost because of it.
From a medical standpoint, real quick, so we do need to wrap up here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we need to wrap up. I've often wondered like how nurses handle it, or other medical professionals that are witnesses when this comes up. There are witnesses, and they have a patient that they're supposed to give a blood transfusion to. I would think they must have to let someone else handle it, or I don't know. I've often wondered that because, I mean, I didn't get in the medical field until after I left. And I've only dealt with one other Jehovah's Witness in my career. She didn't know that I was an apostate. Working on the same team as her in this home care case. She was a pioneer and everything, and the dad knew that I was an ex-witness, and she was like a pioneer. And he'd come to me, be like, "What do you think how she's gonna react to this thing?" And I'd be like, "This is what she's gonna do." Sure enough, she would. Until she respond to something, or it was just funny how it's like they go by the book, and that's only really exposure I've had in the medical field, dealing with another witness that's also working in the medical field. But something I've been curious about, how would they handle it?
I think
if they're supposed to give a blood transfusion to a patient. Yeah,
they're supposed to excuse themselves. Like, I think they're supposed to.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But I have to wonder, like, it's some real life situation, like if anybody knows.
Yeah.
Well, and seen it.
If I'm like a hospital administrator, or if I'm a doctor, and I have a nurse on my team that goes, "Oh, I guess I gotta walk away from this one," I talk to the director, and I don't want that nurse working on my team anymore.
Right? Yeah, you're gonna get fired pretty quick.
That'd be really sticky. That'd be a tricky situation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so on that note.
Yeah. But
yeah, my phone's gonna die actually, so I got to dip.
All right, man. Well, welcome for a little bit. Thanks for checking in, and we should probably wrap it up as well.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone joining in, watching us tonight. We never really did even talk much. I mean, we talked a little bit about what we'll talk about next, but a
little bit. It's me a lot of like legal stuff.
Yeah.
Basically. So
there's a lot.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Until then, I guess everyone take care.
Take care of each other. Love you guys.
Bye.
Cheers.